Welcome to the deep dive, and yes, welcome back to the DRS zone. We are diving headfirst into the U.S. Grand Prix. What a race. Honestly, it felt like an incredible high-stakes deep dive just watching it.
It really was. Far more going on than just the final standings might suggest, you know?
Totally. So, the quick results. Max Verstappen, his 5th win this year. Lando Norris grabbed P2, Charles Leclerc P3. Familiar podium, maybe?
Well, yes and no, because our mission today really is to get beyond that simple 1, 2, 3. This race wasn't about raw speed across the board. It was defined by tire management under massive pressure, some incredible defensive driving, and yeah, critical incidents that are definitely shaking up the championship picture.
Absolutely. All the analysis we've seen points to the same thing.
Yeah.
This wasn't one of the final laps. It was all about that opening phase.
Exactly that. Verstappen himself basically said it post-race. He felt, his ultimate pace compared to Norris wasn't huge by the end, but the gap he built in that first stint, that was everything. Gave him the control he needed.
Okay, let's dig into that max factor then. The start was just perfect. Kept it clean, straight down the inside at turn 1, avoided all the drama, and by lap 2, boom, already over 1.5 seconds clear.
And that wasn't just driving, that was setup. The analysis suggests he was just clearly superior to everyone else in those early laps. Red Bull must have found something, maybe a setup that was easier on the front left tire scrubbing that seemed to hurt McLaren and Ferrari early on.
Right, getting heat in without killing the tire straight away.
Precisely. And this is fascinating. It wasn't just plain sailing. We heard him later, didn't we? Lap 43 or so?
Yeah, on the radio complaining his tires were very, very hot, slipping a lot.
But see, that's where the early gap paid off. He had the margin to actually back off a bit, manage that degradation without, Norris breathing right down his neck immediately. He won it with strategy built on that initial buffer.
And the championship implications are huge.
Oh, massive. He's now a really firm candidate again, isn't he? Cut the gap to Piastri down to 40 points and only 23 behind Lando. The pressure's right back on McLaren. Big time.
While Max was doing that, though, chaos was unfolding behind. We have to talk SAINZ lap 7.
Ah, yes. The turn 12 incident.
Described everywhere as, well, pretty optimistic, trying to pass Kimi Antonelli.
Optimistic is one word for it. Looked like he just tried to force an opening that, frankly, wasn't there. Ran straight into the back of Antonelli.
Spun him out. Ended his own race, instant VSC.
Yeah, and that's costly. Not just the points lost there, but potentially for Mexico, too.
Because the FIA are looking into it, right? What's the potential fallout?
Well, if they deem it avoidable contact, which, it looked like it could be, he could easily be facing grid penalties for the next race. A mistake in Austin could seriously hurt him in Mexico City. Not ideal.
And sticking with drama, there was that Alpine situation late on.
Oh, yeah. Lap 55. Colapinto and Gasly.
That looked like a pretty aggressive move into turn 1 on his teammate.
It was. And the key thing seems to be that he might have ignored a team order to hold station. Fighting your teammate like that for maybe a single point, that risks internal harmony and potentially costs Gasly points too. Not a good look.
Okay, so while Max built his lead and others hit trouble, the real spectacle, I think we agree, was the fight for P2. Norris versus Leclerc. Nonstop.
Absolutely central to the whole race narrative and crucial for Max's win, actually. Norris even said afterwards Leclerc drove a very good race. It was like high-speed chess, and Leclerc, maybe unintentionally, acted as a sort of mediator that helped Max escape.
Let's break it down. Phase 1, the start. Leclerc on softs gets the jump on Norris on mediums.
Instant P2 for Charles.
And then for the next, 20 laps? Norris was just glued to that Ferrari gearbox, trying everything. Parallel down the back straight multiple times.
And Leclerc's defense? Brilliant. We know his car was probably a bit slower overall, and those softs were definitely going off faster. But he held him. Every single lap he kept Norris behind was another second or so for Verstappen up the road. He was just disrupting Norris's rhythm perfectly.
And the pressure clearly got to Lando. He was pushing those track limits hard.
Yeah, too hard. Lap 21, bang, black and white flag.
That's the serious warning, isn't it?
Yeah.
One more and it's a penalty.
Exactly. It's the third warning, official sanction. He was right on the edge. One more slip up, a 5-second penalty, podium gone. High stakes.
And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, welcome to the DRS zone. We are deep into this podium fight analysis, so stick around, hit subscribe for more F1 content.
So back to the action, Norris finally does make it stick. Lap 21 takes P2 just before Leclerc dives into the pits for mediums.
And Norris immediately starts to pull away. You think, okay, that's settled.
But nope. The pit stops cycle through. Verstappen, Norris, Russell all pit later. And suddenly, the order emerges. Leclerc's back in P2. Norris is P3.
Unbelievable. So Norris, now on newer softs, has to pass LECLERC, who's on used mediums, all over again.
And you'd think, okay, fresh softs, this will be easy.
Yeah.
But it was agony to watch. Norris just couldn't make inroads initially. The degradation hit him hard and fast.
Yeah, lap 41, the radio message. Tires are gone. You could hear the frustration.
Those softs just gave up the ghost really quickly, and Ferrari, they sensed it.
Oh yeah, they told LECLERC, maintain the pressure, basically try and force Norris into another track limits mistake for that penalty. Brutal.
Proper psychological warfare through tire wear. But Lando dug deep. Lap 51 finally gets it done. DRS down the straight. Bit of a swap into turn 1, but he secured P2 properly. Earned that one, definitely.
That whole battle just highlights the big story of the day, didn't it? Those
Yeah.
tires just couldn't cope with Austin.
Oh, the degradation was tremendous. On pretty much every car, every compound, you could literally see the Verutas, the marbles piling up offline. It wasn't just driver skill, it was chaos management for the pit wall. Constant calculations, constant pressure.
And some drivers handled that chaos better than others. Fernando Alonso, P10.
Yeah, crucial point for him. Had to defend hard from Liam Lawson at the end there, but held on. Probably owes SAINZ Antonelli a drink for creating that opportunity, maybe.
Good point. What about the championship leader coming in? Oscar Piastri, P5.
Yeah, that's the other big story. He just didn't have the pace, as he admitted. Lost really important ground to Verstappen, obviously, but crucially, to Norris, too.
And that changes the dynamic inside McLaren, surely.
Absolutely. Norris has the momentum now. Closing that gap significantly, it puts huge pressure on McLaren, you know? How do they manage this? Piastri needs to bounce back quickly to reassert himself within the team. That internal battle just got very interesting.
And quickly, Ollie Bierman's spin. Lap 35 trying to pass Tsunoda.
Yeah, bit spectacular. Shows the pressure, especially for him. He's sailing close to the wind on super license points, isn't he? One more major incident, and he could face a race ban. That kind of mistake gets magnified right now.
So let's wrap this deep dive up. Key takeaways from the USGP. Verstappen, undeniable strength, but built on that crucial first stint. LECLERC, absolutely masterful in defense, shaping the race. And Norris had to fight tooth and nail for that P2. And the championship, wow! Verstappen took a good bite out of that lead. It's definitely game on. But that McLaren fight, Norris closing on Piastri, that's just as critical now. Fascinating stuff. It really sets up an incredible end to the season. Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Given that massive tire wear we saw, even Max complaining, was Austin a true test of pure driver skill and strategy under pressure? Or was it maybe more a case of Red Bull just managing the chaos, the tire chaos, better than anyone else?
And flowing from that, if the tires were this bad in Texas, what on earth are we going to see next week in Mexico? High altitude, lower grip. That track often makes tire wear even worse. Could be wild.
We will definitely be here to break it all down for you. Thanks for diving deep with us today. Make sure you hit subscribe and follow the DRS Zone wherever you get your podcasts for all our F1 analysis.